Thank you so much, the crew here, the dancers, but it's really injustice after dance, song, you still want me to remember what I wanted to talk. But I will talk to you like I would talk to my children. We have an evening routine where we go for an evening walk and they will ask me, Mom, tell me from your life. And generally we talk about those incidences where I actually goofed up big time and we end up laughing. But today I'll stick to those points where actually I did well. Before I start, I'll pose a question to all of you. What is more difficult in life, creating or destroying? Hold on to your answers. I'll take you through my life journey and let us revisit this question in a while. Looking at the topic, I can take two constructs. Zero as beginning, zero as end. To me, both are important. I'll start with zero as beginning. I was also a zero at some point of time. Till one of my teachers decided to, sell a dream to me. During one of the casual conversations, she said, Visalatchy, I think you can become a civil servant. You have that in you. And I just lived that dream for the next probably 8 years. But this dream had some catalyst which kept it burning. When I was in my 8th standard, I was a basketball player and I was practicing, and one day one of my relatives, she happened to spot me in the basketball court, and she made a remark that she called me aside and she told me that, look, dear girl, girls from our family don't wear this kind of skirts. Believe me, it was not a short skirt. The shorter skirt today evening, please add literally 6 to 9 inches. That was the length of my skirt on that day. But today I could recollect with a lot of ease. But that day, I was deeply hurt, ashamed, and I didn't know how to react. I didn't tell my parents because that would be the end of my, basketball player life. But that day I thought, I will one day go to that height where you would not be able to reach me and tell me what I should do in my life. This was actually burning me. Then, after some time, one of my mother's colleagues, she gave me a newspaper advertisement. This was for a course in vocational, it was meant for a vocational course in a railway department. It came with a job. And I was, at that time, in 10th standard, and I was really afraid about 11th and 12th, because 11th and 12th will eventually take you to either engineering or medicine. That is the scenario back in the 90s. I was totally scared of both these courses, because it means that before school and after school, you have to go to tuition centers, attend extra classes, which I was so really allergic to. So I had firmly decided for myself, come what may, I will not become an engineer or a doctor. And secretly, I was nurturing this dream to become a civil servant. So when she gave this advertisement to me, it was God sent. I said, God, give me this one opportunity, I will escape this 11th and 12th grade from the school. And God was kind. I ended up in a job when I was 17, plus I was not at 18. Now, I thought that was, I escaped something, but that was not to be. What I considered to be a boom became my baby. You know what? You're a girl, you're cross 18, you have a job. Means your life is set. What is next? When are you getting married? You remaining spinster is more of your neighbors and relatives' problem. So, obviously, the alliances started coming and first one came, my, antennas went up. I have got very less time now. And if I allow this to progress, my civil servant dream is I'm going to forget about it. So initially, when I decided to go for this vocational course, I had to sacrifice my college education because soon after school I had to go to the job. I was willing to take that. Now, soon after my bachelor's, I had no time to pursue my master's because I had to appear for civil service and I had to escape. So what was a very dear dream to me, it became my lifeline at this juncture. That was a life or death question now. So to escape marriage, I went to my boss and I said, sir, please listen, I would like to pursue my civil services, will you please give me leave? So he said, okay, it's a good thing that you're doing, but I will give you leave only once. Once for your prelims, once for your mains, once for your interview. Please don't come back to me for a second time. I can't give you leave more than once. But somehow this conversation between me and my boss spread out. And one day, after my work hours, I was still in the counter and I was reading. One of my senior colleagues, he walked up to me and he was just inquiring, what are you doing? I said, I'm preparing for civils. Then he started giving me another lecture. Said, civil service is meant for people with real talent and nobody clears it in the first attempt. And you generally take 3-4 attempts and don't get disheartened if you don't clear it in the first attempt. It wasn't advice, but I could sense the sense of sarcasm in it. As a teenager, as a youngster, just boy, but I couldn't do anything. There's a Tiruppural which says, Selvidathu Kapan Sinan Kapan, Aliyadathu Kakiyan Kaval Kalyan. It roughly translates, where your anger will work, there you should hold your anger. Where it doesn't work, what is the point in holding it back? So I was in the second scenario. My anger is anyway not going to work. So there's no point in expressing it, right? So that was the second catalyst. In between these two, I had a chance. In the year 1999, I was 19 at that point of time. Super cyclone hit Odisha. So some of my colleagues, friends, classmates, we all gathered together and we decided to go for a relief walk in Odisha. So when we landed in Odisha, the primary advice given to us was that you please carry safe drinking water because it's not safe to drink water in a cyclone affected area because a lot of diseases will be spreading soon after cyclone. So we were told. So in the luggage, the relief material that we would be carrying, the major weight would be the water cans that we would carry. But one of these days, one of the 10 or 15 days that we stayed over there, our water got over. I was so thirsty, I couldn't hold back. So I requested one of the villagers there that, can you please give me water? He said, I will give you the best water. And he walked me across the village. And he showed me a pit with water. Okay? And he said, this is the water you take. And he fetched it and handed it over to me. I was shocked. I couldn't express. And one of my friends, he was, kind of telling me in a hushed voice from behind, please drink, you will get offended otherwise. I was in a dilemma whether I should drink it or not, but out of politeness, out of courtesy, I drank it. But the whole evening, I was feeling like I'm going to throw up. But at the end of the day, I realized that with the comfortable position that I am in, for all the complaints I could make about my life, what he was telling, I have safe drinking water, I have loving parents, I have, good teacher, I'm blessed with good teachers. What else can I ask for? That day I decided, come what may, I'll become a civil servant one day, and I will give back to the society which has given me so much. So these a few incidences, and then finally with the TikTok going on for my marriage, I could clear my civil service in first attempt, and I became the youngest civil servant in my batch, that is the 72nd foundation course that we undergo, the civil servants undergo. But now we move on to the next construct, zero, the end. Before we go to the next construct, I would request you to close your eyes just for a few seconds and try to become nothing. Shall we come back? Was it easy? Was it easy? No? Is it a thumping no? It was not easy. Yes. We say nothing, we take nothing for granted, but nothing is not at all easy to achieve. You might have noticed in my journey to achieve something, to become something, from zero to something, all through the way I have gathered hurt, sense of shame, sense of revenge, burning anger, which knowingly or unknowingly had become part of my personality. But when we achieve that, whatever we want to become in life, when we achieve that, the next question comes is what next? Then comes the most difficult part. It is the part where we uncreate, where we unlearn, where we shed the baggage that we gained all through our life. And I, out of my own experience, can say that that is the most difficult part in life. It took me just 1 year to become what I wanted to become. But to unbecome the way I was, the innocent child that I was, it has taken me a lifetime to become that. And to leave that nothing, to become nothing, to wave featherlight on Mother Earth and leave as nothing, with zero footprint on Mother Earth, it is not an easy job at all. So now again I ask you the question, same question, what is more difficult? Creating or destroying, or uncreating? That's just up to you to decide. Thank you so much.